And now, Hardcore Wrestling presents In the News with Bay Area MVP.
Welcome back to another HWR edition of In the News. We have a good one for you today. So kick back, grab some drinks. My agent needs to stop calling. And we're just going to get right to it. So I got Rick, I got Lance here. So we're on time constraints right now, folks. So we're going to get into it really quick. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Because today we're going to talk about a little bit of some WWE lawsuits against Bill Demott, his resignation, and talent speaking out about it. So, Rick, we were talking about this earlier. You and I and Lance got to go ahead and read about this. And basically, you know, F4W Online was saying the same things that we were talking about. And, you know, he got his package from WWE, you know, a nothing had to happen situation. You know, he's turned down interviews, you know, and a lot of talent has been basically speaking out on it. And, you know, WWE is, on a teetering ball against this. So, the only question to you is, what is going to happen to poor Mr. Bill Demott now?
Well, now that Bill Demott's got what I'm calling, he's got his hush money, and now that, you know, they're going to stick him in the closet with good old Pat Patterson and for a couple of years until he rises back up and give him another job. Keep in mind, he's not fired, folks. He just stepped down as head coach, so, you know, they just wanted to say, hey, you know, you can't talk about this, so here's your money. And we'll give you another job on something else. So maybe we'll give you a head janitor for the next couple of years. Oh, God. You know, it's really a fucked up situation. But there it is. That's just all you can really say about it. WWE never wants to be held accountable for anything because, God forbid, they'd want to be responsible and get sued. Huh. How? Gee. This sounds a little, you know... That's all I got to say about it.
Well, Lance, same thing I told Rick, I'll tell you. What's going to happen with poor Mr. Bill Demott after all this?
Well, they're probably going to announce some bullshit statements, how he's parted ways with the company or something, which means he's probably much cleaning Vince's pool or something at the house, so he'll stay on the payroll for about a year, then come back, but in a less public thing, then over time probably work his way back down there or some shit, and probably get sued over somewhere. But other than that, bullshit.
Very well said, fellas, and I'll come back around circle again because there's a lot to. And see, here's the thing, though. When I read about this morning that I guess a reporter in Orlando, Matt Jones is his name for NBC Orlando, wanted to interview him, but he turned him down because we must know by now Bill Demott, you know, as many wrestlers would say, he's one of the best trainers, but then you keep hearing day in and day out that all these accusations about, you know, talent being abused by him or, you know, they work him too hard and whatnot. And, you know, I would say to that reporter, Mr. Matt Jones out there in Orlando, bad timing to talk to someone who was just resigned because of a situation like this. Now, Rick, next question I can ask you is basically, you think Demott's going to take any issues, or you think your theory about WWE putting him on the hush mode is going to be there for months to come until they find something up their ass to cover him with?
You know, it all depends on the relationship status. I mean, you know, Pat Patterson and Vince McMahon were very good, close friends. So that's why he's still with the company. Because no matter all those, you know, accusations for Bill Demott, which were a lot of people believe to be true, if you remember, back in the 70s, maybe even 80s, several people came on the Donahue show and accused that, straight up, even accused right to Vince McMahon and said, hey, this guy is sexually harassing me. Sexually saying, if I don't give him sexual favors, I don't get on, I lose my job. And boom, it didn't matter. Vince said, nope, that didn't happen. Nope, didn't happen. Nope, didn't happen. And guess what? You figured that he would have been fired. But still, here he is. And he's still got accusations later on down the road. And he got in the Hall of Fame. So, what is the relationship status? If Bill Demott is on good relational terms with the higher-ups, he'll stay in. They'll just keep him on the lower, and they'll keep him hidden. But if he's not, if he's arguing, if he's truly fighting, and he doesn't have any relationships, they'll just boot him right out. That's the question.
Yeah, Lance. There you go. Anything more to add?
Not really, because he just pretty much said every damn thing I was going to say.
Very well said. Same here with me. Rick, if you have any more, go ahead.
I actually do. There was a former trainer, Tom Pritchard, posted an extended rant slamming the investigated Bill Demott allegations. This is the full rant which he posted, and he feels that the number of accusations of how he feels, he feels to be insufficient. I think he's actually backing them up. This is what he said. You know, with all the allegations coming out, it's not just a couple, but a lot of people. You'd think there would be more than a few thorough investigations. For Christ's sakes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. How the hell does anyone justify or defend that? I can't imagine incredible arrogance, incompetence, or outright, don't give a damn, I'm the boss, I'm gonna just try to run the place my way attitude is unbelievable. 1, 2, maybe 5 disgruntled employees I can see, but more and more are coming forward every day. It's not like no one knew. Why wasn't something being done a long time ago? Hell, why wasn't he hired and come back to train A1 in the first place? That was just like a paraphrasing. There was a lot more. He goes on, and it's a very well point. Now, Bill Demott, several years ago, before the Performance Center was even built, had issues. This was back, and I think it was called Deep South Wrestling, and I'm going to tell the story. This story was told, I told this last night. Apparently, Bill Demott, there were several wrestlers who wouldn't want to wrestle. They didn't want to train. So Bill Demott said, fine, you don't want to train? I'm going to make you do these horrific stunts. And one of them was Zack Ryder. Another one was a female wrestler. Don't remember the name. So they would make Luke Gallows get naked in the middle of the ring and do 10 to 15 jelly donut stink faces in the ring. Now, imagine that, what that is. You have a 275-plus pound man, and he's taking a stink face. You have to take a jelly donut up to your face, and he's doing a stink face right up to your face, butt naked. One of them is being a woman. How degrading is that?
I don't know. Lance, you got something to say about that? I never knew that. I'm done.
I'm a little less hungry now.
Thank you. All right. Well, off that, I mean, wow, thanks for bringing it up. Wow, it's Tom Pritchard. There you go. Well, more about the Demott issue. And Lance, I'll go to you first. We talked about the issue with Kevin Owens being in the issue of the jealousy between Triple H being the boss of NXT and he being the trainer for all the NXT talent. The only question is, we got to see a phenomenal match between him and CJ Parker. That move off the top rope was something he did in Ring of Honor. Now, he blames Triple H for what? He being himself? Yeah. And, hold on, Lance, sorry. And more that this is not Vince's NXT, this is Triple H's NXT. Does he even have the right, Bill Demott, by the way, Lance, does he even have the right to be mad at Triple H because these stars are being themselves?
Fuck no. He's just pissed that, Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens can still get air and he can't anymore.
Well, Rick, I mean, Bill Demott's career is over. And let's not forget, his finishing move was the No Laughing Matter moonsault. For him to say Kevin Owens can't do something for the size that he used to be, that's signs of a hypocrite, don't you think?
I think it's more jealousy in its rarest form, and that's all it really is. You could say that's what it really is, and if it's not, I don't know what it is. I mean, he really just seems to have a lot of anger issues. And when I talked with Joe about Bill Demott, he always said that his ego always seemed to get the best of him, and his anger seemed to get the best of him. And he would always just take punishment and his everything else to the extreme. He just had a lot of anger issues. So.
I'm still laughing in the background. Yeah, I guess I could share a little same thought, even though I really didn't have much to say. Yeah, I mean, God, as my phone keeps ringing. Rick, you want to continue more about this?
Yeah. So, when it comes to Bill Demott, I think Bill Demott obviously stepping down or getting away is probably the best thing. We also learned that Prince Albert was now the interim head trainer, which I think is going to be a big sigh of relief for everyone over in NXT, and I think that's what it really needs to be done. Moving on, let's talk about some TNA. TNA has not doing so well. There is some major concern among TNA talents after being presented with their best case scenario. There's been a lot of talk about TNA talents about how concerned how they're due to the lack of work coming up. The feeling is that TNA officials presented to the wrestlers of the best case scenario when Left Spike is signed with Destination America, but isn't how things turned out. There is a feeling that within TNA, the crew wasn't presented with the idea that things would be better off, but would be getting better after the move to Destination America, but things weren't getting any better. We're now a few months into the last major reboot of TNA, but things in the company are running in the tapings. There's no sign of the events being scheduled anytime soon. TNA canceled the April tapings and replaced them with tapings in May. Really have the wrestlers worried. This means the promotion will essentially be in the dark for a few months with no pay being earned from the talents. Lance, you hearing this? What does this mean for TNA?
They're fucked.
Yeah.
Kind of like we were saying. They go to a smaller company and they expect bigger numbers. They're fucked.
Yeah. There was actually over on this blog, there was a survey, and should they close shop, continue to struggle, or hire new people to manage the company? What would you do?
Hire new people, because their management their management sucks.
Yeah, and you know what? Believe it or not, that was my choice, is to hire new people, because you don't want to close shop, and you certainly don't want to continue to struggle. Do we have our host with us?
Yes, I'm back. Yeah, sorry about that phone call, folks. And I listened to what you said. Right now, Destination America is just picking up. If you look at the numbers, we look at the ratings, and you mentioned the tapings. You put one and one together. I hate to say it, but like Joseph Knight said, the Titanic is sinking faster than we think.
Yeah, it really is. It's a shame, because when they were on Spike, it was working, and again, I was talking with Joseph Knight, and he couldn't divulge a lot of the information, but from what he said is that Spike was not trying to get out of wrestling at all. The problem, and it wasn't even so much as money, is that Spike wanted they wanted TNA to come on and work with them and work around their script, but TNA would not give them a script each and every week, and their script continued to change. There was a lot of other issues that was not being released. So, and Spike is still... I'm going to get a lot of feedback there. Spike is considering getting another wrestling company, because they do want but they want a wrestling company that they can support and supports them. They want a Spike wrestling company. And TNA did not want to do that. Dixie did not want that. She would not budge on that.
Right. Yeah, well, only time will come before anything or some type of changes will happen, but we kind of doubt that at the moment. Very much doubt that at the moment. But thank Rick for bringing up that TNA thing. And now we got one more thing to talk about, and basically is supposedly now after WrestleMania is over, that supposedly some NXT stars are supposed to get called up to the main roster after all this mess. Of course, I'm going to be at Mania, so I'll give you hardcore wrestling fans pictures and videos to see. That's if my phone doesn't go straight to hell battery-wise. Is that supposedly Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks were just the pick of the litter to be called up. Now, I think Sami Zayn's ready. I think Sasha Banks is ready. I think Charlotte and Adrian Neville need a few more matches. That's just as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I may be wrong here, but let's just face it. I mean, Sami Zayn is just one of the best right now. Probably up there with Neville, but I mean, you can't take away from what they've done in their career, and likewise with Neville. So, Rick, out of these four that I mentioned, who do you think should be called up after Mania?
Well, I honestly think that all four should be called up. They are the pick of the litter. If I had to pick one other one, if I had to, maybe, I know that Finn Balor and Hideo Itami are both, professionals that are both ready to go up, but again, that probably WWE won't put them up. Kevin Owens also has that, could also make the jump over. He shouldn't even be in NXT, obviously. But WWE has to say, well, you have to be there because, we have to test you out. We have to make you WWE ready. But that's just WWE. But I think they've done their dues. The four that you mentioned, absolutely. So there it is.
All right, Lance, do you want to see at least 1, 2, 3, or all four get called up after Mania?
I say bring them all four up because they've been all been down there for a couple of years at least.
All right. Well, I would have to say I'd say 2 of the 4 right now because I think when Neville lost the belt to Zayn and then that week later Neville taking that power bomb from Owens, I don't know. It looked like Neville was just a little off. Maybe I'm wrong here.
Well, if I may interject, you got to realize any wrestler, whenever especially in the NXT, when you lose, you always want to lose you always want to go out on your back. You always want to pass the torch. So I think that was the right thing to do. You don't want to, you want to, let's say, okay, fine, I've won the title, I'm the man on top, and now I've got to pass it to somebody. I've got to pass the ball. So that's what he has to do. What they should have done was after he lost the title and after he got that power bomb from Owens, that should have been his exit.
Yeah, there you go. Well, at least for Zayn and Neville, but, that didn't come to be because, when Zayn came back, he was pissed off. When Neville came back, he just wanted to come into the ring, And now as far as Sasha Banks and Charlotte's concerned, it's a coin flip right now. The reason I'm going to pick Charlotte not to go and Sasha to go because Sasha got many movesets that surprised us that Charlotte hasn't really picked up any more moves, Wouldn't you say, Lance?
Oh, yeah, but then again, in the Divas division, you don't really have to have an extremely versed moveset.
Exactly.
Well, every time we watch Raw or SmackDown, we have those viewers that are like, give Divas a chance, #. So, are they really giving them a chance? Or, because we're going to see, I know the Raw after Mania, something's going to happen. I know something's going to happen. So, hey, if they call up all 4, hey, that's cool. I would like to see at least Tommy and Balor come to the main roster at least before SummerSlam. What do you guys think?
I would like to see that happen, but I don't think that's going to happen. You're going to see them come on Raw or maybe a SmackDown or maybe even a pay-per-view as a kickoff match, but full-time? No, not yet. Won't happen.
Very well said. Well, and that's going to pretty much do it here on HWR in the news, folks. What we'd like to know is from you is share us your thoughts about the Bill Demott issue. What are your thoughts about the lawsuits? Is the severance package hush-hush from WWE? What is your take on TNA, the numbers? Tell us about that. Of course, the jealousy between Bill Demott and Triple H, since, things are very unhappy right now. And your take upon, which NXT stars or divas should be called up, Share us your thoughts. Leave your comments in the comment sections below. We're everywhere. We're on YouTube, Dailymotion, SoundCloud, all that good mess. So, Rick, take us home. Where could they find us at?
Of course, you can always find us on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And please subscribe to us over at youtube.com/HWR Show.
Let's tell people they can find you on YouTube. And what do you do?
I'm at youtube.com/LanceMossTV. I got album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck normal cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants, the archives of controversial scandals. Also, check me out on Twitter. It's at LanceMossTV.
All right, thank you, Lance. And me, you can find me on www.soundcloud.com/HWR Show, where you can find all of my videos videos and archives for HWR in the news. And, I've been meaning to give you guys HWR faces and peels of the week, but sorry, fans, work has been kicking us in the ass, and, we're trying to get everything on the up and up. So, please be patient with this. We will eventually get there, we thank each and every of our hardcore wrestling fans for taking out their time to look at our pictures and videos and whatnot. And for you guys being so dedicated to our page, you will get, personally from me, on the page, WrestleMania 31 pics, videos, and anything else I can find. Maybe I'll bump into a wrestler or two. So, we just like to always thank our fans. So with that said, this is for the boss, Team Combo 1. This is Will saying, I hope WrestleMania is going to be good this year, hopefully. Tune in next time here on Hardcore Wrestling Radio.
Thank you for listening to this edition of In the News. Be sure to check us out over at facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio, and also be sure to follow us over at dailymotion.com/HWR Show. And now, check us out at our new location, soundcloud.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Until the next time, this is your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.